Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is SeKo Starcraft here, bringing you another game of my adventures from the bottom of Wood League. It's been quite interesting playing people that clearly are still really learning the game a lot. Now, as I've told before, the reason why I'm in Wood League is because I did win 2 of my placement matches. The next two were lost to disconnect, and the last one I lost fairly convincingly, but it was a long game. So it computed that I deserved to be at the bottom of Bronze League. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I mean, if that's the way it goes, right on. Anyways, I'm playing against Stiff. Now, Stiff, I don't really know what league he's in. I'm getting to the top of Wood League now, so I'm expecting to be playing against a few people a little bit better than me. I'm setting out an early drone scout because the last terrans that I've been playing have really been trying the, proxy 2-ax. I will be taking breaks between this casting while I enjoy beverages. So still droning up hard. I pass his SUV, and at this point I'm coming in, and I'm kind of expecting to see a barracks. I am not expecting people at this level to be going for fast expands. I know that's a possibility, but not doing it yet. I'm just attacking this to see what's going on. But now that I'm fairly certain, because he's not building anything, that it's going to be a proxy racks, I decide to send home my drone in case I need every last possible thing for defense. And I'm actually going to be sending him on a scouting path to be able to see if there's any other problems coming up. Pool first, getting some gas so I can get speed in order to be able to counter 2 racks. Behind this, he is expanding, going for a fast expand there. Bring up the units tab. Neck and neck on production, essentially. Nothing too out of the ordinary yet. Right now, this guy's still looking for proxy buildings. And this is going to be done here at home. What I'm going to really want to put up is a queen. And I was going to put up a crawler, but I'm bringing in my overlord right now just to double check what's going on, because I don't want to invest too much. This guy's finished his scouting, and now he's returning home. At this point, I'm seeing on the mini-map that there are buildings here, so I actually cancel this crawler here in a second, just because, yeah, now I know that that's not what's going on. A second now. There we go. And I'm going to go for my expansion. Now, with this fast expand and the fact that I already have speed, well, I've got enough gas for speed, which I'm going to invest in here pretty quick and pull my drones off. What I'm going to want to do is put on a little bit of aggression, simply because, well, I've got all this extra bank, moving my overlord to safety. I'm going to try to pressure this fast expand to make sure he can't get it up. Some people have problems getting it up, terrans particularly. So I've got the expansion going on, I've got a queen already producing it out, I'm going to start pumping out zerglings in order to go and put on pressure. I'm hoping to time this well with my speed being finished, so that way if he does have, 1 or 2 marines like I'm expecting him to have, I should be able to counteract that. Placing an overlord down here to be able to scout in the future, and this guy's getting shot at, but he'll find his way to safety. I do like what this guy's doing, the double expand, triple expand here, double expand, triple base. But I don't think he's preparing well for what's coming at him. I mean, he's got a couple marines out, fantastic. This greedy style is great. It would have been great for me to know this, maybe run a ling up here. If I ran 1 ling here, I'd be able to see that this was the case. Maybe double expand. But at this point, I kind of want to starve him out a little bit and not let him get up the expansion. So I've got my lings going. Speed will be done by the time I get there. Keep on the injects. Making sure I don't get supply blocked, which has been happening to me from time to time as I'm getting back into Starcraft, trying to keep up my macro. And I found a sick window by fluke as his wall is completely down right now. And this is important. I see this opportunity. He was going to put down a bunker. Good on him. Killing off whatever units I can. He's trying to quickly close off his wall. Just about. That's painful. He will land it to make sure I can't reinforce. Good on him. Out come the SCVs. I'm debating fighting here or running around. I see all this production going up, so I figure this is going to be... If I need to do economic damage at this point, I'm not going to micro this up. Kill what I can, so that way I'll be able to actually go back to my base and do that. Now, I don't think I've actually done as much damage as I would have liked to. Oh, where's my units killed tab? Units killed tab! Units lost. So, same amount of units lost. More resources lost for him. And where the heck is the actual stuff and such? Yeah. Well, anyways, we're still tied up on workers, and he has triple command center and triple mule, so expecting him to be really high on the economy. I've got all the links coming here. I'm considering pressuring the front, and I see more marines coming. I decide I'm going to back out, and at this time I still have my baneling nest going on here. I'm going to go for a bust, try to keep him down while I keep building up an economy. I'm not in any giant rush here, up here for scout, just to see if he's going to be going for an expand or anything soon. He's not confident after seeing all those lings moving out. Can't blame him. Bunker at the top. I like that. Nice and safe. Just now getting his gas. I'm a big fan of the gasless Terran macro up. I think it's really fun. More lings coming. And I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot because he hasn't expanded. I mean, killing SCVs doesn't seem that useful when he's obviously producing so many at once. He's going to be ahead of me without too much difficulty. I see the bunkers going down with this. So, making a few banelings, and then I'm going to go in, try and do some damage. More lings coming for support. Into the lings, do what I can. Bunkers aren't up yet. Falling back for the banelings. Now this guy actually kind of impressed me. He's not just... He's actually doing some, you know, marginal marine micro here. Now he probably could have done a little bit better there. He did end up losing everything. Kept his army down to nothing. And here I'm building up another giant army. At this point, I probably should have just started producing more macro. But I actually thought I was be able to push in for the win here if I got the right kind of banelings to be able to make a bust. My gas is way too low. I did just start up my second gas because I need it. Count right now. You know, he's not building any more SCVs, so I'm not that far behind. But he will be getting into it here pretty quick now that he's moving down to his expansion. He doesn't know, obviously, that I'm doing this. He hasn't moved out and scouted. He's not checking the towers. He's not sending out, like, a single SCV just to see kind of what's going on. So I'm going to go and make sure he doesn't take this expansion. Because I'm still 2 base and against 2 base. Unless I can go for the win, I'm not going to be happy about it. More banelings, because I really want to try and go for the win here. I know that he's got all these command centers up, and if I don't do good damage, like good economic damage, and pressure him, he didn't see any of that. I'm not going to be able to win. Now, he sees this part of the army here. He should, if he's paying attention. This guy's making money like crazy. In comes the army. I'm going to run the banelings into these. I like he's pulling out his marines before they get too trapped. Sending these up here to bust down the way in. Happily, I actually did enough damage to that. At this point, I'm going in for just as much damage as I can. That's really what's on my mind. He's got a nice little choke set up here. The Marauders are a nice touch to soak up all the damage against Marines. I'm going to run around. Try to flatten him a little bit more. So I've more evened up the worker count, whittled his army down, but I really didn't do enough. He's still got his production, he's still got all these command centers. I'm ahead in workers, but at this, I'm hoping I'd be able to take this down, but I know this guy's not, you know, crazy enough to let that die. So I'm building these more as defense now. I don't think I'm going to be able to push in for a win anytime too soon. I know this is on fire, so I'm considering poking in again just to be able to kill this. He's already up tied with workers. So let's go back to the production tab. You see, yeah, now I'm getting out of that. I'm going to tack up. Because I do have a really, really huge bank right now. I'm trading much more cost effectively, so I do move in. I see all these Marines. Still going back for economy damage. Doing what I can. I probably could have focused this down. But I don't. Man, I'm just not giving up on this 2 base here. Yep, Morlings. Building a macro hatch. I should have just expanded. I mean, why the hell not when you've got all this going on? Keeping myself not supply blocked by throwing away as many units as possible. Keeping up on my injects. Very crappy but still happy creep spread. And now I have way enough gas and money to be able to make what I'm hoping is the Crusher. I'm going to be able to just actually go in there and mow stuff down. In supply-wise, still not where I want to be. Great defensive position. This is classic newbie-ish type of play. He comes out happily to scout. These are the saddest Marines ever. They get destroyed. I'm going to come in and punch this. I see that he empties his bunkers, so I'm not wasting my banelings on them. I'm going to run around, and then I decide, okay, well, time to just do the damage. Take out that. Take out the workers. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So now he's back down to 20 workers to 35. He does have mules and another command center. Out of all this, I didn't really pay attention to the fact he's got another command center. It didn't really dawn on me. But anyways, that's what's going on. Another base going up now. More lings. These ones, I'm sure, are more defensive now that I've got that position. I feel economically after all those kills, I'm in the lead. I just want to make sure that if he's going for an all-in counter of some sort, that I'm ready for it. Macro hatch, injects, because it's lovely. Good amount of lings, upgrades going. He's finally got enough to be able to afford that. 7 Marines at a time. It's fairly tasty. And keeping up on his SV production. So this guy, as I'm watching this, I'm pretty sure he's not in Wood League with me. He looks like he's got enough of an idea of what's going on. Main base is getting mined out because of all the mules. Plenty of stuff out here still. For me, my saturation, like I've never been oversaturated or even saturated enough, I would say, at any of these bases to be able to actually, I would say, be mining effectively. 45 to 27, so doubling him in workers. That's tasty. Got those guys out there for defense, controlling the watchtower. I'm not too sure what to expect from this guy. I kind of feel like at some point he's got to go for an attack. I'm not a huge fan of this moving out with half the army. I mean, he can always rally troops to use those bunkers later. This is kind of a throwaway here. He does use a stim, so these guys are all pretty weak. Happily, I have this in reserve, which is nice. And I don't see this coming here, because what am I building at the moment? Lots of lings. I'm going to go into Bro Festers, which is nice. Got to go for more gas. This guy is coming in with this attack group, which is really nice. I'm still got this creep here, so I see this coming, and I can intercept it before it joins up and powers up with this other group. Finished all that up. Just enough to finish this up, barely. And now I feel fairly secure. His economy has caught up a bit more. Still producing SCVs. Guy knows what he's doing on that side. Building, I assume at this point he just knows I'm going to run in and do more. That ling did show me that he's reinforcing, and he's got all this going on, so I'm not going to go for another bust. What I do want to know is if he's going for another expand soon. If he wasn't breaking down these rocks, he'd probably be in a lot more trouble. Lots of links for protection. And now, moving into Spire, because I want to actually go into Broodlords. I've got all this extra gas kicking around, so I want to tech up. Lots of links, because I'm going to be going to try to shut down his third. With all that's going on right now, I figure I'm actually not as head as I think I am. Ultimately, the production of a Terran, I know how quickly it can turn back around and, you know, kind of destroy things. What I'm hoping to do with this is kind of be a bit of a retard magnet, pull out enough of his army, so that I can come in and actually take it out with mine. I don't think he expects me to do this. And is it a massively smart choice? Maybe not, but I'm trying to keep his army lower, just so that way, obviously, I have the opportunity to macro up well. More drones, moving into infestors. And with this size of an army, like, I figure he's just a few medevacs away from actually being as good of a position as I'm in. Supplies aren't really that different. I'm not up by much. Building some Banelinks, because I think he's going to come in for another attack soon. Got the Infestor play coming on. And building more units for defense. Now, out of all this, my economy, I never really got it up to the level I want. 59 drones. On 3 bases with 2 of them kind of mined out a bit, I suppose that's alright. But I should really power up to about 80, and then I'll be set for the game on another base. Gonna go in and try to maybe pressure again. We'll see. Yeah. I never got Banelink speed out of this, which is a big error of mine. I'm hoping to surround with the Lings and then be able to run all of these Banelings into this. He does a little bit of stutter step, which is great, and then a little bit of a miss micro right there. Loses pretty much all of his Marines. So supply-wise, that gives me a bit of a lead. That was a great trade for me. I mean, that's a good little army. That helps him out a bit. But I know now this base is up. And look, he's powering up quite a bit into more workers. A few more drones going on. That's good saturation here. I'm pretty happy with the way that's going. This base, it's alright. This base is dying, so just a few on their mining is good. Got my Spire up. I should be upgrading it soon to a greater Spire. Up to 71 drones, you know. I think that's okay. But I don't really feel that ahead. I'm hoping these will turn the tide. He'll come out with a big army, and then I'll be able to do damage. But I don't really want to wait for him to get too massive. So I'm going to go for a little cheese play here. Going to try for something a little funky. I don't see this drop coming because I have no overlords placed over here, which isn't very good for me. But we've got my sharks moving around. I didn't see any turrets in the front through all my exploring. He doesn't have turrets anywhere. So I feel like I might just be able to pull this off. This drop could do a lot. All my tech is back here, including my greater spire that's building. I see this army moving out. I don't know this is happening, but I've got what I consider is a big enough number to hopefully take this on when it happens. Now this drop is already happening. I know that's happening, but I have to go and do damage over here. I forget to burrow these guys because I'm an idiot, and I'm pretty sure I remember pushing burrow. They die with actually a lot of energy. I could have done a ton of damage, but I'm an idiot, and that's what happens. This is still going on up here. I finally react and send back in my Lings, but by now they're going to focus down the Spire. Good on him. I mean, that's a great play. And yeah, I think that if I came up here to just distract him, like I'm trying to buy time now, do a bunch of these guys down just to try to do damage. He's not coming back in time to defend. Getting a little held up on his wall. These guys get out because they're slick. And you know, just a little bit of an agitation. Some supply depots. He's scanning. I think that's smart because I might be dumb and leave his stuff behind again. But he's still not really that far behind if we look at the supply tab. Links for defense. I've got my base going up. Still don't know this is happening. And I'm ahead by workers still. But I really don't have a very big... I don't really have a lead, I would consider at this point. Like, I just don't really think so. If this guy put up a planetary here, I mean, he's got tons of SCVs here working. Way more than he needs here going. I just don't think this guy's multitasking was going up high enough. This I'm trying to incept just as kind of being a dick. I see what's happening. I have all these guys here because I'm considering going after his army when they pop out. Because his army now is coming down to defend. A couple more of these guys because I want to be able to at least take out some of his workers, do a bit of damage. And now I'm starting looking, sizing this up. Can I go after this and take this out with my Lings here? My 1-1 Lings versus his 2-1 bio. I decide I can't, so I move it away. And right now I'm actually moving into mass mutas in a couple of seconds. That's a pretty good sized army. But I realize I can't take that on. I'll lose too much and I'll be in too much trouble. So I'm going to go do some economic harass and just bother him long enough for me to be able to get up a better army. Take my Lings. I'm going to try to run him around and just buy myself some time, do a nice Ling run by into the main. Screw things up a little bit. But army-wise, this guy's not that far behind. And this is where he starts BMing me a little bit. And he leaves the game. Now, I don't think I played really well that game. But I don't really think he should have left just yet. If he knew what I had and he goes back and watches this replay, he's probably going to be a little bit salty. Like a drop here or a drop back here would have done a ton of damage and threw me off. My army was never more than like a handful of Lings. I had the Infestors kicking around because I want to be able to use them for more harassment. But I really think this guy was... and then look at the bank. Like, we both were banking really, really high. But I just maxed out on massling as soon as I had the opportunity. So I think he could have done a little bit better. I did discover after the game this guy's in Platinum. So that's, you know, good 3 levels above my Wood League. So this guy is actually fairly decent in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the smack talk after the fact when losing. But hey, whatever's going to make you feel better when you're done the game. So that's the end of this game. SeKo Starcraft, signing off.